Welcome brothers, I'm the Hermit and I hope you're yearning for the mines, because we are going to the Dwarven mines with our commander Giott, King of the Dwarves. For 1 red and 1 white, we get a 1/1 double strike legendary dwarf noble. Whenever Giott or another dwarf you control enters, and whenever an equipment you control enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So what does going into the mine entails? Well, what we're trying to do with this deck is we're gonna try to take advantage of the Romage ability, discarding one and drawing a card, so that we're gonna be putting big artifacts into our graveyard and then playing a spell that's gonna get one of them back into the field for cheaper. So we're gonna be trying to get it for 5 mana with Repair and Recharge, Invoke Justice, or for 4 mana with Tune Up, Refurbish, a Wall's Awakening. Or if we happen to put one of our 3 mana artifacts, which we also can bring back, we use Goblin Engineer to return target artifact with mana value 3 or less. So that's gonna be either Palantir of Orthanc or Monument to Endurance as really card advantage for us. Palantir mills cards, and if our opponent is low on life, it draws us a card at the end step, and Monument to Endurance can either draw us a card, create a treasure, or make each opponent lose their life whenever we discard a card. So whenever we have a Dwarf enter with Giott, we're gonna get another card for free. Now we have the Dwarf package. We have all 7 Dwarves. We have Magda, the Horde Master, and Magda Brazen Outlaw. So in case you remember, Goblin Engineer needs to sacrifice an artifact. We're gonna be wanting to make treasure tokens as artifacts that we can either sacrifice to bring something back, or make a 4/4 Scorpion Dragon, hit out an artifact or a dragon from our deck to the battlefield. And as a little bit of treasure synergy, we have Big Score and Pirate's Pillage, Unexpected Windfall. We can discard a card as an additional cost and draw 2 cards, make a treasure, instant speed, or Pirate's Pillage at sorcery speed. Other than that, we have Witch's Mark, Thrilling Discovery, for more discard, Lightning Axe. We can discard a card and deal 5 damage to target creature. We also have Faithless Looting, draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, Gamble, search for a card, and you discard a card at random. The artifacts that we're trying to reanimate, as well as the dragons that we have, are Salvation Engine. Other artifact creatures you control get +2, and whenever this attacks, return up to 1 target artifact from your graveyard to the battlefield. So not only is this an artifact we might want to bring back, but also it's gonna be helping us get more artifacts out of the graveyard if we get to attack with it. Sky Sovereign, when it enters or attacks, deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Chimil the Inner Sun, spells you control can be countered, and at the beginning of your end step, discover 5. Godpharaoh's Gift, if we also happen to put our dwarves into the graveyard, or they just happen to die because our opponent's spells, then we can make them as 4/4 black zombies with haste. We have Overwhelming Splendor because some of the cards either bring any permanent or artifacts or enchantments. So we can put Overwhelming Splendor on our opponent, and their creatures are gonna be 1/1s with no abilities, and they can activate abilities that are mana abilities or loyalty abilities. We also have another enchantment, as well as a dragon for Magda, Summon Bahamut, destroy up to 1 target permanent on lore chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 3, draw 2 cards. Chapter 4 deals damage equal to the mana value of other permanents you control to each opponent. Portal to Phyrexia, similar to Salvation Engine, is gonna help us bring stuff back, but this only brings other creatures. Sundering Titan, because we are only 2 colors, we are hoping that our opponent is 2 or more colors, hopefully one of ours as well. When this creature enters or leaves, choose a land of each basic land type, then destroy those lands. Escape Leveler, when we cast it or whenever it attacks, destroy up to one target non-land, its controller creates a Power Stone token. Another Reanimation card, Areti, similar to Goblin Engineer, but you don't have to care about the mana value of the thing you bring back. Whenever it directly enters or attacks, choose target artifact. You may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, return the chosen card. Also, for a little bit, since we have two really good vehicles, we are playing Chandra's Power Hunter. At the beginning of combat on your turn, up to one target vehicle you control becomes an artifact creature and gains haste. But also, +2, you may sacrifice an artifact, maybe a treasure, or discard a card, something that we want to reanimate. If you do, draw a card. 0, create a 3/2 colorless vehicle artifact. And she has a -7 to whenever an artifact you control enters, disable this 3 damage to any target. So yeah, I think, one last job. Remember, we have Overwhelming Splendor, that is an aura. And with one last job we get to, first we pay 3, then we can add another 2 to return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or another 1 to return target mount or vehicle from the graveyard to the battlefield. And another 1 to return target aura or equipment from your graveyard to the battlefield. So if we happen to have a creature, a vehicle, and Overwhelming Splendor, then we can pay up to 7 mana, and we return everything to the battlefield. We also have Anguish Recollection from Alchemy. Discard a card. If you do, seek 2 cards and don't share a card type with the discarded card. So maybe if we discard an artifact, we try to get either a creature and a sorcery so we can reanimate, or if we discard a land, we get 2 non-lands guaranteed. We also have some interaction: lay down arms, source to plowshare, shove aside, get lost, even rip apart, deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, or destroy artifact or enchantment. Cause Fire Slice deals 4 damage to any target, but we can cast it for 1 mana if our opponent is playing multicolor decks. This spell costs 2 less to cast if your opponent controls a multicolor permanent. It doesn't have to target that permanent, it just needs to be on the field. Skyclave Apparition, just exiling stuff. If our opponent's commander is mana value 4 or less, then we exile it for free and they don't get anything back. Plundering Barbarian, another dwarf, but it can either destroy an artifact or make a treasure. And because you are playing dwarves, we have the Pala Pilot Exemplar. She gives dwarves a buff, and whenever she becomes tapped, you can pay mana to either get a dwarf or a vehicle from the top. We have Flesh. It deals 3 damage, but we can also discard it to our dwarves and get it back for its escape cost, making it so we have a really big threat. Another dwarf, Ambergris. This is the alchemy version. She has haste, and whenever she attacks, they attack. Whenever they attack, we can discard our hand and draw 2 cards. She also has Specialized 2, and the specializes that we're going to be using are whenever she attacks, we discard our hand and deal X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of cards you've discarded. So if we also play other dwarves, then we're going to be dealing a decent amount of damage and we're going to be drawing 2 cards. The white version, it gives other creatures we control +X, where X is the number of cards we've discarded. So I think that's pretty much the deck. We also have a couple of mounts. Bulwark Ox, it can put counters on creatures, so nice with double strike, but also we can sacrifice it to give our creatures with counters on them hexproof and non-destructible. And Glory Hit links. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, search for a plains, put it on your hand, and shuffle. So those are nice cards to get with One Last Job. Or just with Magda, they synergize by giving us treasures whenever we use a Dwarf to mount the Lynx or the Ox. And our final discard synergy is Ibora. Whenever we discard a card, she gets bigger, and when she deals combat damage to a player or enters, we get a blood token. So another way to discard our big stuff, or another synergy for if we're discarding over and over again. So that's the deck. Let's get into the queue and see what we can craft in the mines. Or any of the Unwritten. Okay, we have Magda, which means we can play Giott, then get Magda, attack with Giott, he becomes a 2-1 with double strike, but it has fearsome wall. I think we might want to kill that. Okay, let's wait one turn maybe. We discard Flash. Delighted Halfling. Dwarf. So here we're gonna exile Halfling and shove aside the Whelp. We're gonna lose out on a treasure, but we should make for it later in the game. Also, slowing down Ureni is gonna be vital, otherwise they get to their commander and they get too big. They get 2 big dragons. I guess I needed to play Monument to Endurance, but we're gonna be able to cheat out a dragon, or more likely... Okay. I was gonna say a big artifact. An opponent is stuck on lands. Discard up to 2. Get lost. Yeah, we had 7 mana. We play God's Pharaoh's Gift. Bring back Magda. Get more treasures. An opponent was stuck on lands. So good games. Good games already. Victorious Scans. Maybe they are trying to discover a bunch, or maybe they are Boros control. Let's find out. Invoke Justice, which means we're gonna be trying to get Glory Hit links saddled. But for now, let's discard Thundering Titan. Lelia from opponent. And let's see what they have on their deck. Yeah, it seems maybe control, maybe just interaction, maybe they just have ossification because it's a good card. We will find out soon enough. So maybe even if we get Sundering Titan, it's not game over, but we might be able to take a bunch of our opponent's lands, 3 of them. Plundering Barbarian. Okay, this is... yeah, this is an important decision, I think. We need to choose, so let's get the treasure then. And now we're gonna have our Sundering Titan next turn. Opponent is gonna lose 2 lands, and if they remove it, they lose another 2. No, just the 1, because they only have 1 mountain. Fateful Absence kills our thing. And look at that. I'm gonna put all the counters on Giott. And our opponent is Boros, so our lands are safe. They lose 2 of them. We have a 5/5 double strike and a 7/10. So, your move, King Torius. Okay, you take our commander. He goes to the command zone. And we drew the answer to the single. But no matter. Since we can only reanimate 3 or less, we get... let's get Palantir. And do we want to play Glorybringer? If we do, then the clue is gonna be the one we use. So let's sacrifice the clue instead. And we're gonna sacrifice the treasure for our Palantir. Okay, and opponents had enough. Being at 3 mana against our 6 is no fun for them. So good games, Quintorius. Even if you kept your removal, you were still gonna be facing land destruction, so good games. Against Sticky Fingers, or as he is known in the top version, Zipperman. Sticky Fingers is gonna be trying to also combo in a way. I'm not sure if they are all combo, but Sticky Fingers gets power and toughness equal to the number of creatures in your graveyard. So if they... and also they can pay X to reveal X creature cards and put them into their graveyard. That means that if they are in fact the combo version, they put their best creature, their and maybe only creature, Cultivator Colossus. They put it on the graveyard and then they reanimate it. And they get a huge creature that's gonna be lethal. And we're gonna see that in action. Yep, Cultivator Colossus. Maybe their lands are gonna be... their hand is gonna be mostly lands. They're gonna make a big creature, but it seems like we are gonna be touching the worst part because we have one last job. Only costs 4 to reanimate an aura. We get Overwhelming Splendor. So you see they do road for reanimate, they get their Colossus. And they're gonna get a bunch of lands, but with Overwhelming Splendor, if they don't have a way to remove it, we're gonna be the ones getting the win. So here we are gonna sit for a while our opponent gets all of their lands into play, maybe their entire deck. I don't know. No, it's not that much usually. I mean, like I said, it's enough to deal lethal, but It's not all of their deck because they want to play a number of reanimation spells. Although maybe they have tutors. Since they have tutors, they only play reanimate. Who knows? Maybe they got lucky, they got their only 2 non-lands, non-cultivator colossus in their deck. But we'll see how it turns out. Also, maybe they have other big spells, at which point, I mean, we might want to concede. But this deck tends to be really linear, really one lane, so and I guess if this is in fact their entire deck, then we're gonna be happy with it. Okay, no, it's not. They are left with 35 lands, I mean, and since they are not putting more lands, that's gonna be all spells. So let's see if they can beat us after one last job. Oh, it has to be attached to target creature we control. My bad. Reading the card explains the card. So yeah, I guess this is a good game. We needed something like removal or something, so yeah. We needed to reanimate something like Portal to Phyrexia and then hope to get the Colossus on our side. Maybe something for... No, we would need haste with the Seerscape Leveler. So yeah, opponent got their combo going and we lost to it. Good games. Against BB. And it seems we might be able to fend our opponent's plan for a little bit. We need to get Salvation Engine into the yard, and when they play BB, we can Ghostfire Slice it. If we get to Chandra, we're gonna be discarding to draw, so we discard Portal to Phyrexia, Chimil. When we get Salvation Engine back, we can make it a creature for the turn, give it haste, and that's gonna help us get more stuff back. Okay, so let's get an Impacable. And they're gonna remove Anim. Yep. Honestly, oh, with Electrostatic Blast, they're gonna get another card when they cast their next instant or sorcery, and they may play one of 3 cards. Okay, let's go for Chandra, I think. We're gonna leave ourselves open to a BB turn, but they lose their extra card and they have to commit here, which we can either kill with Swords to Plowshare or Ghostfire Slice. So let's slice BB. Yeah, they can play one spell in response, get a counter on BB, but this deals 4 damage. So it needs to be something that was BB. Okay. You know, something that gave +1/+1 and hexproof. But it seems like all they had was a country. Okay, let's try to make a play with Chimil. That's still combat, so let's get Chimil here. Oop, and it seems like it must just hit, unless they have Spell Pierce or the other one. Okay, they don't. Apollo's Awakening and get Salvation Engine. We have no other artifacts in our yard, but let's see if we can get one. In the meantime, they get the BB again and one spell with it. Invoke. Okay, we cannot invoke Justice. Although, I guess maybe we can try. They didn't have the 1 mana counter spell, so let's get Chandra.
Every heartbeat revs my engines faster.
And discard the card.
Let's shift gears. Just try to keep up.
Return the portal. And I think this might be GG's. We get Magda the Horde Master with Chimil. Let's discard the links. And yeah, you saw the power of Chandra, at least what she can do in this deck. Even if the Salvation Engine wasn't a creature already, with Chandra, we would still have the same turn. So yeah, kind of really good at what she does with the vehicle synergies, and we'll hopefully see more of her with spacecraft and vehicles being commanders now. And yeah, wanted to play Spiteful Banditry. They couldn't kill Giott as well, but even if we did, we bring it back and we keep the ball going. So yeah, good games, BB. Yuna Hope of Spira. So their game plan is a little similar to ours, but we're more about artifacts, they are more about enchantments. They start with a Surveillant. And we're gonna play our commander. We're gonna send the 7 Dwarves because we have Fable. Oh, withdraw another 7 Dwarves. Set the Sun Champion from opponent. I guess we go for it. We go for the Fable. Maybe we attack first. They don't block. So we play our Fable. We're gonna let them draw a card here. But hopefully we will set up something nice. Discard up to show aside. Did we start the game? No. Okay, so we should play the Ox, or rather Maybe he just slice the champion. Okay, we pass. We attack with you. And we'll see what happens. Okay, they're gonna trade for Fenrir. Destiny Spinner. That's another card. Okay. We discard Shobasite. No, we discard the Palantir. We have Shobasite and Ghostfire Slice. Yeah, I think this is gonna be one that we win by being aggro. Okay, you may mill 2 cards and you get an insect token, but only once each turn. So opponent is thinking about something or other. Or maybe they just left. I don't know why they would leave. I mean, they only had the one creature, but you know, bringing someone Fenrir is it's not a bad deal. And it definitely doesn't lose to our current board, so maybe they think we have something for this attack, but we were only gonna shove aside the Destiny Spinner here. Maybe they're scared of Reflection copying the Ox. Yeah, that could be annoying, because we can give Hexproof and Indestructible to all of our... maybe even every single creature we have. But at the very least the ones that have counters on them. And here we're gonna look. They're not gonna mill because they are AFK, so, or maybe they will. I'm curious to see what the Oro selection does. So yeah, maybe they also decided to rage quit because they didn't get their anything they considered valuable, any enchantment that is as big, but on the other hand we also didn't get our big enchantment, big artifacts, so, and we're not complaining, so who knows what how salt affects. I mean, some people are humans, you put salt on them, they just leave it away, and other people are like snails, you put salt on them and they just squirm for hours and hours in agony until they die. So I guess good games. Ugin, Eye of the Storms. And we might be just aggressive enough this one. Maybe not. I mean, we are on the draw after all, and if they have ramp into Ugin, then that's GG's. Anguish Recollection. Mhm. One tower, and let's see if this is just enough. Okay, it is. I didn't do the math beforehand, so we still managed to kill Ugin right on time. And we can see that's why we have this type of cards, so that we don't always rely on reanimating our stuff. And we also see that we got our revenge on Ugin after last time. So yeah, good games, kind of. I mean, this is one of the ones where we won against Ugin, but if we got the ball, the happy face, sad face, I would put the sad face because it wasn't that much fun. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Greasefang. Okay, Greasefang is the better version of us, but it seems we might be okay just yet. Shove aside, combined with the links, invoking Justin on Overwhelming Splendor. We should be fine. Okay, they have Season Hollow Blade, that's gonna allow them to send a vehicle to the graveyard. Cultivator's Caravan. Not the best, but not the worst. Voice of Victory, nice one. That means they're gonna get their caravan for sure. Also, on the other hand, we're gonna have to suffer for a bit. Just 2 turns, I think. So it's a good thing that they only get Trampies, a 5/5. So we take damage, not nothing, but also not lethal. Here I guess we play the Ox. And we shove aside Greasefang. They are gonna discard again, and let's see if they get their 5th land for Greasefang. So this is the turn. Let's see what happens. Here we should block Voice of Victory. Actually, we block like that, and you block here. We're gonna take 4 damage, but we are getting our opponent. Oh, okay, that's the thing they could have to stop us. The One Ring. They have protection for a turn, but then again it's just one turn, so now our only problem is if our opponent, if they end up having a bigger vehicle than the caravan. Ooh, but we have Swords to Plowshares now, so... right, forgot about Voice of Victory. Okay. Let's pass then. So opponent has nowhere to discard, which is exactly what we need. No surprises. They can play Grisfang, but doesn't get anything. Ooh, Humiliate. I'm guessing you take Invoke Justice. Opponent goes for the attack. And yeah, I can imagine they're not too happy with that block. Okay, split up. They might be happier with that. So yeah, this is still a game, now that we have lost the advantage of reanimating. But we'll see how this turns out. They have drawn 6 cards from the One Ring now. And they get a big vehicle. So yeah, I think we lost this one. So I think let's give this a turn and we'll concede. So yeah, Humiliate really did it for us, or for our opponent, I guess. Otherwise, we were still in it. And obviously the One Ring, just a good card, even if it's nerfed, they have to pay the 1 mana, but doesn't matter if you get to draw all those cards. Yep, okay, we will be 1 mana short. Yep, so good game. Against Ugin, Eye of the Storm. So what we want to get with this is one of our big artifacts. That is also colorless, so they cannot hit it with Ugin, but I guess Plundering Barbarian is also a good plan B. When it enters, we're gonna destroy a piece of ramp from our opponent. And we'll see if that's enough. We will try to make it one of their big ones. For now, we get Giott with discard. Actually, Swords to Plowshares might be better. Okay, now let's discard 7 Dwarves. Monument to Endurance. I like that one. Treasure map from opponent. And this Cry. So it seems they're up to a slow start, and we will try to take advantage of that. With Palantir on 2 lands. So we put them both on top and we will discard one, I think. We get to keep the other one, and what should we do now? Well, I guess we'll see if they play a 4 mana artifact. We're gonna destroy it right away. Sculpting Steel on Palantir. I think we want to destroy treasure map. It's gonna be making treasures next turn. We lose 7 life. Destroy artifact, and we're gonna discard second 7 Dwarves. Let's see here, to the bottom. Ooh, an opponent takes 7. Solemn Simulacrum. Okay, let's sort that. They are at 2 mana for next turn, so let's make this turn count. Oof. So we play Inti, Senescal of the Sun, Seal of Discovery, discarding Fable and Lightning Axe. Unexpected Windfall. Let's not discard here. We need some big artifacts now. Okay, that let us draw. Chimine from opponent. Okay. I guess we stand a chance just yet. You draw then. Mind's Eye. Okay, first Monument. Then Faithless Looting. Discarding lands. Each opponent loses and draw a card. Witch's Mark. That's gonna go on Giott. Discard 7 Dwarves. Get 2 cards. Make a treasure. And this is 6. We discard another 7 Dwarves. Opponent goes to 11. And if they don't get too much life, then we get the win with Monument of Endurance. Let's see how they go about this here. If they add mana to Exile Inti, then they get burned. So what is it, opponent? Ether Flux Reservoir, but no mana left over. Right, they get one discover from Chimil, and that means they get one extra mana, two extra life. They go to 5. Okay, so let's Faithless Looting. Opponent loses life and draw a card. So yeah, opponent might win this one, depending on what they do here, but with this Flux Reservoir, they might just have lethal here. On the other hand, just like we kind of expected, we have all artifacts that cannot be, interacted with, I was gonna say. So if they go to 8, I think we win. Oh, the One Ring. Okay, that's... Yep, I'm afraid that's GG's.
Preparation yields success.
Good game, Sugin. Yeah, we were so close, yet so far from win. Good game. The Wandering Minstrel. This is maybe a Kids deck, maybe another land sort of Mara's deck, or could even be Belcher. So let's find out what they are playing. Either way, we still need 2 colors. And let's send Glorybringer away. So a Towns deck, okay, maybe they are just a regular Minstrel deck. Here we're gonna get Salvation Engine in the yard. 7 Dwarves, that's gonna cycle Portal to Phyrexia. We get another land, a Plains. But we cannot exile the Minstrel because we only have the 1 Plains. Chromox from opponent. Okay. Temporal Manipulation. Kind of disappointing to see. But I guess Koma is a little bit more spicy. an overload picker, so maybe they are in fact just all about those lands. And because it exiles no lands, we take the Chromox. And if they remove the Skyclave Apparition, they get a 0/0. Kami War, okay. They exile our commander. Let's see what we have in the yard here. Portal and Salvation Engine, so we don't need that much. Let's take Palantir here. The opponent sends 7 dwarves. We discard Sky Sovereign. Catilda from opponent. Okay, and we finally have mana for tune-up. Right. We can get Salvation Engine. And it's a creature now. So we can reanimate Portal to Phyrexia. And I think that's the game. Unless they remove our engine, in which case they are gonna be the ones that are ahead. Nope, just a land. So I'm afraid this might be GG's. And you roll. Sacrifice 3 creatures opponent. And we're also gonna discard 7 dwarves. Make 2 treasures, sacrifice a treasure. And get Palantir. Gamble, that's a good one. Let's keep it like that. Let's gamble for summon Bahamut. No, we need an artifact so we can bring it back. Sundering Titan. And now, how do we discard it? With Giott, of course. We lose 1 land, but opponent loses 3. So it seems like they are rage quitting here. Not unexpected, but it's still a little annoying. So yeah, Temporal manipulation, I'm really not a fan of just playing the extra turn spell just because you can. Usually, I mean, I'm not saying don't include them in your deck, I mean just play them when you are gonna take advantage. So if you have end step trigger, upkeep triggers, even planeswalkers, then that's when you play your extra turns so that you get all the value out of it. Otherwise, they are just cards that essentially get you a free explore, which isn't that bad, but also not what you wanna be doing in Brawl. And especially not what you wanna do when the ceiling of extra turn spells is so big. Okay, your opponent is still in it, they get Womad Courier. The heroes so that they can get another card, they sacrifice, yep. And opponent good games, so let's say good game back. Okay, yep. They had one removal spell, but it was a little too late. So yeah, good games. It was nice to see at least one Wandering Minstrel being all about downs. The play against Ragavan, I mean, I know the matchmaking takes a while to get the ranking for the new commanders, but come on. At this point, on the one hand, we still have Rivapart, so we deal with the first Ragavan. Huh. Escape velocity. So Amber Grease, no attacks because of first strike. Fable from our opponent. Oh, our Fable. Here we discard Cityscape Leveler. Now opponent has 5 mana. 6 with our token, with the token from our Fable. Source of Porch and Frontier on the token. Hope you make the most of this attack. I mean, maybe they also have a braid effect, so even if we get Cityscape Leveler, we're not out of the woods yet. Okay, Strangle, we don't mind that. Huh, Dareti. Okay, I think Dareti is better than Repair and Recharge. So let's sacrifice a treasure and pass. Okay, Melt Through. That's a good one, actually. I am a not so much secret lover of Melt Through, and putting it in the Cityscape Leveler is gonna be one of the best uses. Okay. So they make a treasure, we're gonna take the damage on the leveler. It sucks, but okay, Now what should we do? Player commander. Discard Thrilling Discovery. And attack with Arity, hits an 8/8. Play 7 Dwarves, and we send Repair and Recharge. We invoke Justice. Okay. Alrighty then. Sticky fingers on Hazoret, and I assume they also put the sword on it. Oh, they put the sword on their token. So let's block it. God's Fireflies. And yeah, I mean, we still prop a fight, but at the end of the day, it's Dragaman, so I'm not surprised with that, with the outcome we got. Technically we're not dead, but we are mostly dead. Okay, so opponent is thinking about getting one of our reanimations. They are looking at their graveyard. But no. Oh, there is one enchantment. Marauding Mako. And you. Ooh, that's gonna take out your demonic Rokos, which maybe they wanted. So, Witch's Mark, Invoke Justice. Okay, let's play the mark then. We get Invoke Justice on the leveler. Or counters. Yeah, and if anything else, our opponent is gonna be not only making copies of their Lootmonger, but also they're gonna be able to hit us like that with Hazoret. So yeah, I don't think we have enough or any life linking stuff that can get us out of this. But I guess I could be wrong. So here we block here, here. And yeah, we're dead, so good games. I mean, like I said, we didn't really stand a chance against Ragavan, but this was closer than I would have guessed either way. Like, I mean, I still think we shouldn't be pairing against Felq, but such is the matchmaker, I guess.